Sunday, and I am enjoying the beautiful garden here at the Homewood Historical Garden in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And I wanted to come with peaceful energy so we can observe what we have been going through today. And just, Sundays are for relaxing. It's really when people can get into their solar plex energy. It's called Sunday because they attach it to the planet, the sun, and it's a good time for us to reflect, especially during a Gemini sun and a Pisces moon. They're both mutable signs, and it has a lot of dualistic um, polar energy, which is really reflective. So it's a good time for us to think about, um, how we have overcome and how we have overcame in life, how we have went through trials and tribulations, and that's why I'm here to share my testimony, hoping that it can help someone like myself. So today was a very trying day. In the beginning of my day, um, I realized some unhealthy things that was going on in my environment. For the past week, I've been noticing that people have been putting different strongholds on my baby sister's high chair, and I was a little bothered by it this morning. And my I came to find out that my mom actually ended up telling on herself and revealed that it was her who actually put some distasteful things. So it's really disturbing because I as I served my siblings dinner, I still see them wearing black shirts with Jason on it, um, Tupac, Biggie, and I told them don't wear those dead people shirts. And they're teenagers with cell phones, so I know they're getting text messages to so they can hurt themselves, so it could hurt other family members. So if I could talk to them, I probably wouldn't be on this live talking about the things that I'm talking about. This morning, my mom called the police on me again because she was upset that I had asked her who put cigarettes in the cup and put it on a baby's high chair. I've seen all types of stuff that I've bought that they put on a chair, other people bought, and they're just trying to connect him to grown adults in our family to do ill things. And like I said last week, somebody um, on the street that my brother's from, that's right next to where I live, was screaming out his name. So there's a lot of haters. I just got done doing some household chores, and always outside people are littering um, on the streets, on the road. I just seen, remember I told you about that 57 spell? I seen a WB Mason truck on Fifth Avenue. I seen a WB Mason truck on Seventh Avenue, and just recently I seen people littering ketchup outside where this lot is, where children play at. And it's really disturbing because it's like they have Heinz ketchup and it has the logo 57 on it. And in Pittsburgh, our stadium for football is called Heinz, and they're trying to do these blood rituals with Heinz and with ketchup in general, with tomatoes, which is connected to Tom, which is connected to Atom, which is connected to Motor. And it's really disturbing that people in my own community can be doing these type of crafts where they're littering all over the place. I don't see that. Now I know that Europeans are still caught in the Neanderthals are doing witchcraft on themselves and on each other and on others. However, you know, the black community, so-called black community or African Native American community, really needs to be held accountable for the infighting and for the conquering and division. A lot of these people in these churches and in these Masonic religious groups are pointing to outside figures into the white man, but they really need to look in the mirror because they're the ones that's destroying their own environment and destroying their own people. And I noticed they're attacking and they're targeting children often. And it's very wicked. And I was one of those children, and I am an adult here as a guardian to protect the children, protect the innocent people, even from their own parents. I know their own parents and grandparents sometimes give them nicknames that Masons tell them to name them so they can do witchcraft. I know because my grandmother did it to me and my siblings. She gave us nicknames that were connected to Halloween, and Um, it was to set us up. And you know, with people, people are called people because, like the word PEO, it goes with GEO, and that stands for geographical. And if you think about the word people, there's the word pool in it. And if you think about the word pool, it's POOL, and backwards, that's loop. So people are trying to loop you by you having them in your cipher, in your presence, in your energy field, in your vortex. They're trying to loop you. And what I've often found in the past, which I've talked about on other lives, is that people have tried to swim with me. People have tried to bathe with me as a child, and I was being set up because I am Yemaya. I am goddess Yemaya. I am goddess Oshun. I am goddess Oya. And what have people have tried to do was get in the water with me so they can bathe with me and get my essence. That's some of the things that I realized. And I want other people to realize it. I want other people to realize when you get that phone call from your child's friend's parents and they're asking, can your daughter or son come over for a sleepover and a slumber party? Realize that they're having that slumber party because the Masonic organization called them and told them, bring your child over there so they can destiny stop with your child. They're not your child's friend. Those parents have evil intentions for your children. Why I know this is because not only the sleepovers that I have hosted and the sleepovers that I have been, that I remember with certain children that tried to grow up as an adult and do wicked things to me. And those children that I hosted at sleepovers or went to those sleepovers as we got adults, y'all know what I'm about to say. What? They tried to take my man. God damn. That part. So they try. I've even been invited over to an ops house. They just wanted me to sit in their living room. They just wanted me to sit in their house so they could try to have some like right to try to backstab me. So you got to watch out for that. And I realized with my little sister, who is a goddess, her name, she's named after a goddess, Offset. That's who me and my mother are. When she went over a sleepover, I did the numerology that day. I did the astrology that day, and I realized based on the people that she was staying over, their names and a lot of other math that I did, math which also stands for my aunt, I realized that they had ill intentions. And even birthday parties that my sister had been invited over, I realized that there were evil intentions. And my sister, she's a Virgo moon like me. She's very pure hearted. She's an Aquarius sun like my brothers and my mother and my father. She's very pure hearted. All of my siblings are a reflection of me. She's not the only one. All of them are. They're a reflection of my parents and myself. And they have tried to do witchcraft at birthday parties she went to, and Destiny swap her even with the food, the colors that they would dye the food, the type of food that they would have that connects to our history in our past. I'll get into more of that. Um, Dolo the Palette Man on his YouTube show, one of his videos talks about different foods like chicken and eggs and vegetables and certain things that hold energy and what they mean. And when I realized that she went to this birthday party and they were having a chicken and waffle spell and they even dyed the waffles red. They was trying to steal my sister and me and my sister's man because me and my sister were connected to the Most High and we were supposed to be one with the Most High and one with God. That's why we have the names that we have. We're ESET and ASET. We're Essence and Offset. So some people say Isis, but and they say that it's Greek, but even in Greek and Hebrew, and even in English, you'll hear the word sis. So we are sisters, so we can't just banish all the Virgo languages and say that they're all bastardized French, English, and Spanish because there's still esoteric energy in those languages that are trying to tell us things in the present and what's going on, even though they are trade languages. So I wanted to talk about that. I want people to be very mindful when you host company, even as adults, you need to be mindful of things that are going on because people are succubus and are trying to they're trying to suck you. We have the word success and people want to drain you and they want to take your succession. And I am have experience in that. And the less people that experience that, the better that this plane and this world will be. So I look forward to in the future having events online and in person. I wish to do freestyle Fridays where I share the music that I've been working on the whole month or the whole week. Actually going to be in the studio on Fridays. That's what I plan to do, is actually go to the music studio on Fridays and actually share pre-recorded and live videos of me in the process of making my music. So I want to document that, because in the past I have been in studios and I have had them lose my work. Even if I got the work on a hard drive or a CD, people have stolen it from me or stolen my lyrics. So I want to document the whole creative process so y'all can see that and check that out and be a part of that. And I also want to have something called Saturday Stories, where we have, light vibrations, where we're making arts and crafts, where I'm showing you different foods that I'm going to cook and everything like that. And it's just really going to be a gathering with people in person and people online, so we can be able to socialize and connect and raise our vibrations. I plan to do it at a club, at a Jamaican club that I've mentioned before. It identifies with my brother. My grandmother nicknamed my brother Boo because the Masons told her to, because they wanted to put a Casper the Ghost spell on us. And she nicknamed me Pumpkin while I was wearing a pumpkin Halloween costume. While he was wearing a ghost costume, she nicknamed him Boo. So I'm going to go to the club Taboo. In the past, it was called the Travelers. It's where my parents met, even though they were going to school down the street at a school called Kappa for arts. And I told y'all about that. And it's no coincidence that Kappa Creative Arts Performing Academia School is the first four signs: Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces, Aries. So that's no coincidence. And it's connected to school. And we know Capricorns, every sign is connected to a body part. Aries are connected to their head, and I'm saying Taurus are connected to the throat and the shoulders. Capricorns are connected to the bones and the teeth. So it's no wonder why I think about all of these schools around Pittsburgh and all of their names and their mascots and even their colors have something to do with me in this life and in past lives. So I realized that it's very uncanny, and a lot of the schools are in the neighborhood where I grew up, Oakland, Uptown, and Downtown. That's where a majority of all of the schools are at, and all of the universities and colleges are at in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So I wanted to talk about that. And so I am going to be going to a reggae club called Taboo. I used to work there as a bartender. I used to host a lot of events there for my business, Essie's Eco Ventures, where I used to talk about how we can travel and actually, instead of just being a regular tourist, which is connected to the San tourist, but actually being a part of the community, giving back to the community while actually enjoying it and being able to have a mutual respect for the environment, so we can not only pollute the area but leave a positive footprint instead of taking but also giving. So I'm going to be having Saturday stories at Taboo. I'm going to be live streaming it so people can be a part of it and see what they do. I plan to do that around the summer solstice, which is June 20th, around there, which is right on the cusp of Gemini and Cancer season. So that's when I plan to do that. And then I plan to go to a restaurant called Tana's, which is the Ethiopian restaurant in the next neighborhood called East Liberty. And I plan to have something called the Sunday service there, where it's going to be a relaxing dinner. People can come there and order their own food. It's a beautiful restaurant. It's a lovely Ethiopian restaurant with authentic food. I plan to have African, reggae, Jamaican bands there to play music. And what I wanted to do was ask people to wear white, or they can wear colors, but wear white, because I want to have um, a discussion about the Essenes. A lot of people know about the Essenes. They are a tribe of people that actually raised Jesus Christ. You know, whether people want to think about it as an allegory, as the Chris, as the Krishna or the Krishnas in our pineal gland, but the Essenes tribe were a group of people that actually I was named after them. My name is Essence. So I wanted to talk about not only the Essenes and what they have done, but a plethora of religions. I grew up in the Ansar community as a child. My mother was raised as a Moor, and as a Christian. So I grew up as a Nuwabian. I grew up as a Osset and Osir. I grew up as a Muslim. Like I said, my name is Esses Muhammad, and I also had practice with the Buddha. I practiced with, the Indians. As you all know, I have done modeling and yoga and prana for India for with Indians. But what you might not know is I also have cooked at Indian restaurants, and I have also chanted with Buddhists, and they say Nam Ye Reke Kyo, Nam Yo Renge Kyo, and I really am thankful for that. And what I realized is that you really can't separate these religions. Yes, they have their stories, they have their different geographic locations. There's Muhammad, there's Christ, there's Buddha. But if you think about them, all of those prophets and messiahs are connected. They all have the same heart energy. They have different stories and messages, and they all have different documents and tablets. If you think about it, they're all teaching the same method. So what I hope to do with Sunday services in the future is talk about how we can coexist, and like a lot of people do on YouTube. A lot of people talk about all the religions. As you all know, we study, we research. A lot of people talk about how we're all connected from all over the world, and this is a great time for us. We are connected with social media. We're on all these different websites where we can connect to all different parts of the world and see what we're going through. So that's really good. A majority of the people that have subscribed to my channel or view my channel are from India and places like Delhi, India, and Nepal and Asia. So I'm very thankful for them for tuning in and supporting me. And I'm thankful for all the other people who tune in to watch me from my hometown and from the United States and from all different parts of the world. I'm very thankful for that. And so leading up to Sunday services, I'll be working on an artistic grant, and I have to do it carefully, because when you're applying for funding, you have to do it in such a way where it can't hurt you. Because, like I said, they want to give us funds so they can try to use it against us as a funeral. And because I know better, I'm held to a standard. I'm held to a higher standard like everyone else. We come to the age of understanding, they say, at 12 years old. So it's very important that we know things. And what I realized is I'm a Pisces, which is the 12th degree. I realized, 24 degrees is also Pisces. And I realized that 24, like I said earlier, is 42 backwards, like the 42 laws of Ma'at. And I realized there has been a lot of 24 hours, 42 laws of Ma'at witchcraft on me that has been happening. So I am thinking about, like, I shouldn't have to be pressured to do the grant overnight. But the last time I did apply to the grant a couple years ago in 2024, I was at the library, and as I was almost finished, as I was typing on the computer, the keys started to mistype. When I would try to type, it wouldn't work. And then they had one of these old geezer masons at the library rudely interrupt me, be very vulgar. I had to defend myself against him and the security guard, and I ended up in jail for 7 months while I was applying to this grant that I'm applying to now. So they try to take funding opportunities for me. They lied on me. They lied on camera. It was all a conspiracy. It's just not white people. As you all know, African Americans, niggas, Nathaniel Ross, they're all involved. So let's not make this about, oh, th- this is the white man, because I truly believe the white man would not have this power if we wouldn't hurt ourselves. When we cast spells on each other and we have the same ancestors from the American soil, from the African diaspora, from the transatlantic slave trade, and we're hurting each other, they can hurt us if we're hurting each other. And that's what I'm trying to tell my family. So I figure, if I can't reach my family collectively, people watch TV, people get online. Even though we have to be careful with TV, TV has Taurus, Virgo energy, and Capricorn energy. We have T, Taurus, V, Virgo, caption, Capricorn. So that is an earth spell. And they're really trying to put us in a box like where I'm at right now, in a box, talking to you. So we need to be mindful. We need to um, journal, draw, and in the word draw backwards is worthy. So it doesn't mean that we still can't draw and be creative. We have to creative, even if it's writing poetry, cooking. You can even be creative with clothing and designing, doing your hair, um, the way you exercise, the way you do meal prep. My sister was just doing some meal prep this week. That was very good and healthy and very inspiring. So it's very important that we are trying to create as much as we're intaking. Um, whether it's online, whether it's reading a book or a magazine, and looking at other people's art, it's really good because the Most High is is the creator, and we know the Most High is an artist. The Most High is art, so it's very important that we create art and thank the Most High by keeping our temples in alignment inside and out, beautification ourselves, being clean, adorning ourselves, thanking the Most High, making sure we have a beautiful environment in inside out of our homes, sharing with our neighbors and our family members and our community members. These things are important because that's how we stay together. That's how we build a village. That's how we build a community. That's how we have a society. So it's important that we do that, and we need to get together because just like our ancestors from all over the world, we have made conditions better for the youth, and we need to continue to do that. We don't want the babies to go through what we're going through. We don't want them to have to take orders from strange people that are texting us, emailing us, calling us, and asking us to do weird things. Even when they tell you to do something that's supposedly nice, that's kind, and give somebody a gift, it's really twisted. Or they tell you to buy something or purchase something or wear this clothing, you don't know that they're really trying to go against you and someone else. They're really trying to opt you out. So I really want y'all to be mindful of that. It's really important. Um, I hope that these the Evil of Life series is can be beneficial to people that are looking for certain things that other people aren't talking about online. I realize that I look at astrology in a different way. I've been studying astrology since I was a child, and I see certain things that I don't read in the books, that I don't see online, that I don't see on websites. So I'm working on documenting those, coming out with astrology websites, um, documents and documentaries, so I can start to talk about astrology like I have consumed a lot of people talking about astrology online. So that's something that what I want to do. I realized that you know, I realized that my own astrology connects with the world's astrology. And I realized certain things like you know, Capricorn is the 10th house. It's in the first month. Aquarius is the 11th house. It's in the second month, 1, 2. Pisces is in the third month, and it's the 12th house, 1, 2. That's 3. So I realized something about that. That's Cap, and backwards, that's Pack. And I realized as a Capricorn rising, I'm in alignment. My first house is 1, my second house is 2, my third house is 3. And I realized that my alignment has been identifying with the world, and I realized certain things about astrology. Studying people like Unplug 'em on YouTube. He talks about how they're astro demons, and they're like spirit animals. They have demiurges. So even though it's for adults, it's for adepts, and it's very powerful information, there's another side of it that you must look at with astrology. It's important. It's not only the study of angels, but it's also the study of demons. And when you think about demons and angels, what does that say? That says DNA. Demons, D, and in angels, DNA. And as some of you already know, that's supposedly what we're made of. We're supposedly made of Nephilim, which is a mixture of man and angels, Lemurian traits, reptilian traits, 6 ether traits, 9 ether traits. So I think that was very interesting that we have the word demon and angels in DNA. And then we have CNA. I know you all have heard of that. And then we have, I believe there's RNA. I'm not sure if there's RNA, but I did hear about CNA. And I realized that we know that the capital is in the District of Columbia, which stands for DC. And I don't think it's a coincidence that we have um, DNA and CNA when that is in the word DC, where my brother lives, where I might live if you all vote me in for office as the president of the United States, if I choose to go that route and shrink myself, because I am bigger than that, I'm larger than life. But if I choose to put myself in that, I'm already the president of the United States. I have been for a long time. But if I choose to go back into that role, I do want to make this country a better place. If I choose to do that in my career as a governess. So I also realized that, the word D, we have vitamin D, we have the word vitamin C, and they're connected to the Most High as well. They're connected to the Most High. Um, it's very important that we realize that we realize things, and so it's all connected. It's even in music, in the circles of fifths and the keys of the piano or the guitar. We know that those notes, we know they have the center C, which is the center of the scale of fifths, and D is right there. It's important. So that was something interesting that I wanted to share. Um, I'm very thankful for the chance to be able to come here and talk about the things that I'm going through. I understand that when we vent, we're venting, and VEN goes with the word Venus. And sometimes when you release what you've been through, other people are empaths and they're sensitive and they could take on that energy. So I don't by any means want to harm people with what I'm experiencing and what I'm going through. I just want to utilize my story and what I'm going through to relate to others because they might be going through similar things, so I could connect with my tribe so we could come together and find solutions to our problems. So we don't have to keep on being insane and going through these things without having a peace of mind and without being able to move forward. We don't want to be stagnant. We want to keep on flowing and we want to keep on going so we can get to where we need to be in life and so we can get our generations and our descendants and the planet to where it needs to be. So that's very important to me. Um, Another thing is that I realized that people are trying to break. There's, if you notice broken glass, I know when we were children, they said step on a piece of broken glass and you have 7 years of bad luck. There is magic in that because glass is connected to sand. It's made from sand. It's turned into limestone. It's blown into glass. And if you notice, sand has a lot of information in it. If you look up sand on a molecular level, it's beautiful. Um, and it's on the beaches. They have all different types of color sand. There's even black sand. There's white sand, there's brown sand. And I realized that there's a lot of mosaic spells where people are breaking glass, shattering things, and trying to put the pieces together like a puzzle. And as people may have heard, I don't know if you heard this, but they took Einstein's brain and split it up into 22 pieces. That's not a coincidence. Aaliyah passed away at 22. If you look on Understanding Channel with Seven Bomar, he talks about how the Hebrew alphabet is in 22 parts. If I'm explaining it right, he talks about something about the word 22, and they even had me in a cell called 22. And the first equation that I did when I was 4 years old was 2 plus 2 equals 4, 2 times 2 equals 4. And that's the only thing, 2 plus 4, 2 plus 2, and 2 times 2 is the only mathematical equation that adds up to the same number, 4. And like I said, they're doing what? 24-hour spells, 42 Ma'at law spells. So it's very important that we really know what's in these numbers. And when you add those numbers up, it makes 6. And 6 relates to a sextile. And a sextile in astrology is when two planets come together that are apart from a 60 degrees angle, like every other sign. Every other sign has a sextile. So we'll start with the first sign, Aries, skip Taurus, Aries has a sextile with Gemini. Gemini has a sextile with Aries. Gemini has a sextile with Leo. Leo has a sextile with Libra. Libra and back and forth. Libra has a sextile with um Sagittarius. Sagittarius has a sextile with Aquarius. Capricorn has a sextile with Pisces. Pisces has a sextile with Capricorn. Pisces has a sextile with Taurus. Taurus has a sextile with Pisces. Taurus has a sextile with Cancer. Cancer has a sextile with Virgo. Virgo has a sextile with Cancer. Virgo has a sextile with Sagittarius. Sagittarius has, hold on, Virgo has a sextile with Libra, and then it's Scorpio. Virgo has a six. I should know that because I've had a lot of relationships with Virgo Scorpios. The one that I've been in the longest in my life is a Virgo and Scorpio, and my first people I've ever been with are Virgos and Scorpios. So that's no mistake. Um, they have a sextile. So those are sextiles, and then we have the word six, which connects it to sex, and that's harmony. That's agreeable. We have sex. You know, they have an X and they have S and they have the E in it. So those that's all symbolic. That's all symbolic. And what I was talking to a friend today, and they said that the scary movie Six was coming on. It's no wonder that we're in the month of June, which is the sixth month, and they're trying to come out with this sixth scary movie. That's a broadcast, so they can do a massacre, so people can watch that and they could try to wreak havoc on us. So we need to be mindful, even when we're watching these conspiracy movies like The Manchurian Candidate or Dark Crystal or Avatar. I know you all have probably watched. There's plenty of conspiracy movies. There's one called this conspiracy movie where we're learning things. When we watch these movies, we are actually vetoing it. We're giving it permission. We're giving them access because we're watching it. Watch, WATTAW, and we're clocking it and we're giving it power, and it needs to be received so it can be manifested. And as you all heard, you know, they had the prison to pipeline um unfortunate events that they started in the late 80s, early 90s, where they wanted to pollute our minds with gangster hip hop to try to get us to go from school to prisons, to be institutionalized and dehumanized so we can be able to corrupt our own bodies, our homes, and our communities. So it's very important that we not only protect ourselves from harmful, disagreeable music, but also movies and other forms of art. We want to have higher realms of art. We want to create higher realms of art. We want to enjoy those because when we're enjoying something that's disagreeable, it's going to do what? It's going to end our joy. That's why they use the word enjoy. There's a double entendre. There's secret messages in these words, and there's hidden contracts. So, what I hope to do is not only talk about the things that I'm going through daily, but the things that I'm realizing that I went through in the past that are connecting to this day and to this time. So it's very important. I want a lot of you to be able to look back and see about different people in your environment and their intentions, so you can realize that that spirit in that person may be in another spirit in a whole nother person in a whole nother environment, still present in your current time in this day, and it might be something that that's trying to continue something to continue, but it doesn't have to be that way. We have the power, even though we might live on a different street with different neighbors. They're trying to do the same spell and the same manipulation and the same betrayal that happened at the other place that you lived at with the other people that was on that block. So you better believe it. And I know you people know what I'm talking about because we're all grown and we've experienced stuff happening. So you know, it's a beautiful day. Every day is beautiful, but I try to be mindful of saying things like that because, you know, they're really trying to they're really trying to take, you know, spoils of war. They really want to booby trap us, and they want us to be fools. And it's important that we're wise and we have discernment, and that we know what we're doing, because everything is spiritual battle. It's a spiritual warfare. We have the word spirit and the word spirit. So we really got to overstand and understand that and yoni stand that these that sometimes spirits are trying to not only help us prepare and move forward, but sometimes they're trying to help us recline and move backwards. So it's important that we are keeping in mind of who is in our environment and what's going on, and we are keeping inventory of the things that are coming in or out of our body, such as foods in our body, such as homes, even furniture. Some people might want to give you clothes, some people might want to give you furniture, but you got to realize in the word clothes, we have the word close, which is shut, like the word closet. And that's similar to the word Cleopatra. What are they really trying to close when they're really trying to give you clothes? You think it's a gift, but they're really trying to give you some energy. You know, they're really trying to diss you. You think it's a gift, but you got to be mindful, especially with the brand names. You might not know. It might be a brand that has some demonic information on it, and demonic always doesn't mean bad. You know, it means demon. um, it connects to demi and things like that. But we really need to take in mind when people are trying to donate, it's donate, it's donate. We need to be mindful what's really going on because we have to protect the dawn. You know, everybody's like, we're going to stay up to the break of dawn. Why you want to break dawn? That's the sun. We don't want to break the dawn. So we got to be mindful of different things. Certain food have different brands that's trying to come against us. I bought some food that had sunset on it. Somebody tried to donate food to my home. I threw it away. I rejected it because it had sneak disses in it just by the initials of the food, the way the food was packaged, the food that was combined. They had cucumbers and cantaloupe. That's cam. They're trying to say like a cantaloupe with cantaloupe. It's a with canned goods. It was some crab in a bucket spell that they're trying to do, like you know what I'm saying. And they're really like they're really desperate. And you know, these people that hated on you for free as a child will hate on you for money as an adult. And it's really embarrassing for them. They feel some type of way about it because they realize they spent their whole lives just to be a hater, and it hurts them. So it really affects their pride, you know. But we really can't get caught up on their feelings. We can't keep on trying to think about, oh, the devil's feelings or the hater's feelings or this or that, because they're not serving themselves or the community or the most high in a proper way by being jealous and guilty and trying to come upon the land and betray people. So I want y'all to be mindful of that. It's really important. Um, I'm happy that y'all aren't asking me questions because what I noticed, a lot of people that I know and love, and some people that I don't even know, was in the comments asking me questions that that they were told to ask me to try to spite me and to try to be smart because they're working for ops who don't want nothing for them, and they are jealous of me and my beginnings and my endings and everything in between. So I'm happy that the ops told y'all not to ask me questions. They knew better because I'm not having a Q&A, because you know I'm not having a question and answer, because that's a way for people to sneak in opposition and to make it seem like everything's okay, and then to try to like annoy me. But I can't be annoyed because I'm everything. I'm every number. I'm every color. I'm the Pisces. I'm every zodiac sign. So when somebody tries to add, I'm every day of the week of the month. So when someone tries to ask me about, you know, oh, their birthday was 2 days ago, or what about Kermit the Frog, and then I go on YouTube and I see something about Kermit the Frog and it's connected to cancers. Well, I'm a cancer too. You know what I'm saying? I'm just not a hating ass one. I'm all the Muppets. You know what I mean? They got Muppet from me. My name's Muhammad. It's the MU, baby. I'm the milk and the honey. I'm Muhammad House. I'm Muhammad Milk. I'm Honey House. So what's going to bother me? I'm every day. Every day is my birthday. This is my world. And I'm happy that you all are sharing it with me. So I want to talk more about some things that I'm going through. I'm writing in my journal. Today, I took the time to try to write my song over that I wrote when I was 18 called Corn Artist. The ancestors helped me write it. I realized that after I wrote it, I performed it at the August Wilson um, Center in Pittsburgh. And I was volunteering and working for a group that was really connected to some shady people like um, P. Diddy, Clyde Davis, and they were really trying to steal my star power. They were trying to block, they were trying to hold me back, they were trying to gatekeep me. They had someone in the home that I was living steal my music. They had my photographer delete the music. They stole my lyrics out of my storage. They stole the lyrics out of my house and the CD. A decade later, they put it back in my house, and then when I before I put my stuff in storage, before I went to jail, um, they stole it out of my home. So I just want y'all to know that people break in your house when you're not there, and I know that you've noticed when you go in a house, you see things that were there that wasn't there when you left. Things are being moved. It's because they have this fake key maker. My father's the real key maker of the Matrix. So they have keys and they're breaking in your home. They have your neighbors breaking in your home, sometimes through your window. They even have your landlord give them a key and they break in your house and they try to take things out. So they put my music back in here, Con Artist, and then they took it out. So before I move on with the rest of my evening, I'm going to share what I do remember of the song. I'm going to share it with you. So it goes like this. Don't wanna be loved by you. Don't wanna be touched by you. But maybe, just maybe you can. You're not my man, sugar. We can jive, be cool. But I'm through with you. You wanna paint a perfect picture on my wall, but I see a disguise. Like a baby, you sing me lullabies, but I see right through all your fantasy lies. And then you fill my head with lots of things like diamond rings, marriage, and kids. What happened to that white picket fence? I told you things I thought I trust you with. But then you confuse reality and manipulate me, try to use me. You even tried to abuse me. You even tried to confuse me. Oh. At first glimpse, I saw a little work of art, but that masterpiece turned into a fraud. Love had tiptoed on me, so quiet and secretly broke into my heart. An imposter, king of hearts. We could have been lovers, lived to a spot. But who knew you played the trump card? Telling me what you're gonna do for me really means no use to me. I'm tired, so quit taking all my energy. My empty, hollow heart, you left me with a seed. My hollow heart, my hollow heart, my hollow heart, my hollow heart. Boom, boom, ba-da-da. You stole it. You're a con artist. You're a con artist. You're a con artist. You're a con who stole my heart. You stole it. Oh. I'm taking back what belongs to me. I'm taking back what belongs to me. I'm taking back what belongs to me. Just maybe, just maybe the princess kissed a frog. And maybe he wasn't a con artist. Maybe they had bliss. Con artist. This is essence with the evil of life. Live your life the best way you can possible. You can live life possible. This was the evil of life. Life is evil. Thank you.